didn't respect you. We've polluted your earth. We've hurt you in so many ways. And we've come to say that we are sorry. We are at your service, and we beg for your forgiveness.
We're going to sing a song for them. And we're going to stay.
The ways of life. Today, the 7 Cavalry, in the beginning of the world, at the beginning of the star, let me say a few words. I will accept the forgiveness. World peace. World peace.
World peace!
We will take a step. We are Lakota, a sovereign nation. We were the nation, and we're still a nation. We have a language to speak. We have preserved the caretakers of this hemisphere. We do not own the land. The land owns us. Our land, we kept. We didn't do what they did. I overlooked this. We're going to take this step relative to relations. United States, you look at the United States Supreme Law. But we have the Supreme Law too. We're going to take it this way. To the United Nations. To the United Nations. One of these countries have to tell the truth that we are human beings. We're going to take it to the Foreign Relations Committee that we must be honored. 1868 treaty, 1851 treaty, 1889 treaty. June 24th, 1924, that we are come to be a citizen of the United States. And that's where it's happened. That's where the thief. That's why they live a lie. They make us live a lie, except something was not our dream and our vision. Relatives, nationally, media, what Russell Means said, we are nation. We are nation. Oh, hell, we're going to take some steps legally. All you taxpayers, tell your internal revenue. Long as you're going to honor the Lakota Nation of all tribal nations, 564 tribes, honor them. If you don't honor them, we ain't going to pay no tax anymore. Internal revenue.
As a 19th generation keeper of the sacred chanupa, the sacred pipe, I too like to say that today's yesterday, we call all nations, all faiths, one prayer. Peace and non-violence yesterday. We had the whole world watching. And today, another beautiful day to honor all the people who have laid their lives down, have committed themselves to protect the sacred land, the people, and the Constitution says we the people, so we are the people here. I'd like to say, as the people, we love our children, we love our families, and that's what our forefathers, our grandmothers, their grandmothers, they have made us honor our place of prayer and our word for checking us to che us to cry and he us to send your voice. So by each and every one of you being here, you're in prayer with us for Mother Earth and Manui Choni. Thank you very much.
We are honored by your request, and as we go forward, we are mindful that December is a really hard month for us. In the Christian way, it's a time for their Christmas. For us, it's a time of death and destruction in our villages. And we continue to forgive on our part. We have been forgiving the Dakota 38 ride for the 38 plus 2 that were hung at Mankato in December. It's the 153rd year this year since our people were hung. And the thing that they said before they were hung is they sang their warrior song, and they made resolution with their life, and they welcomed the great mystery. What courage. So we have that history of those massacres happening around Christmas time. So the Mankato Dakota 38, that Misunkana and some of the others that here, I don't know if John Eagle is in the crowd, many Dakota 38 riders have done that. The other one is the Wounded Knee Massacre, again in December. There's probably Wounded Knee riders here, but they ride during around the same time in December. They ride from Cherry Bridge area down to Wounded Knee. December 15th through the 29th for the Bigfoot ride. The Mankato ride is the 26th. And December 15th is when Sitting Bull was killed. And the other one is the Whitestone Massacre in northern South Dakota. What is in North Dakota now. So the Whitestone Massacre was the largest single massacre. There was even more there that were killed than Wounded Knee. So during this time, a lot of historical trauma is popping off in our people. December is a real, when the snow comes, when the cold comes, we're continually doing those healings. On the Dakota 38 ride, which is coming up, when they ride from Crow Creek and they go through those farm towns are beginning to come forward to feed them, to seek forgiveness. So it's taken 150 some years for that to happen, to come together. We had a common oppressor that oppressed many of your immigrant population history. You were encouraged to leave your language, forget your language, just like we were. So much forgiveness needs to go between all of us. So we want you to be mindful that this is not an accident, that this is happening in December. Again, we're faced with a government. This time, history has changed a little bit. The U.S. Army Corps has taken a different position as of yesterday. That is an amazing, amazing thing that has happened, but having historical trauma, we still do not trust. We can't trust because it's political. So we are mindful that December is a powerful, powerful prayer time. So all the more reason to remain in prayer. And I know in the aerospace centers, they probably see all kinds of lights going off from this Ocheti Shakoi camp. All those prayers that go up to the universe. So I know that's with the sweat fires being lighted. But I'm going to ask if there are any Native women veterans, the Native men veterans, and our leadership from the Ocheti Shakoi, some of the head men that are here, the women's societies, if you could stand up, and we're going to come and embrace you in this healing that we're beginning together. So if you could stand up. So if you could stand up, we're going to come through your ranks and make relationship. Where's Isaac? Any Native veterans, could you come forward and join this line of forgiveness? Men and women, please come forward.
Abadake abe abetikule chante waste na pechuza polo. Kaska amachi abe na washichi ya Janigo Senior. I've been asked to sing while this act of forgiveness is going on. And Toi Waaki Faith Spotted mentioned the historical trauma that the Native Americans have experienced during this month and the sacred holidays amongst the Christian people. But she mentioned the Dakota 38 ride, which I'm honored to be a part of. And there was a song composed in South Dakota in recognition of those 38 Dakota that were hung. So that's the song that I'm going to sing, and I just wanted you to understand that it was a song that was composed to remember those 38 warriors. Amatake out there, I just wanted to share with you that I grew up in a family of veterans. I was raised by 5 fathers, my dad and his 4 brothers, and 4 of them were combat vets. As a little boy, I used to travel to my Lakota, the late Philip Eagle Sr.'s house, and on his wall hung all the pictures of the men in my family that had served. As a little boy, I used to stare at those pictures because they were my heroes. And when I grew up, I wanted to be just like them. So when that time came and I was old enough, I enlisted. When my dad drove me to the recruiter's office and I was going to get shipped out to the MEP station, my dad was silent, Vietnam vet. And I sensed that he was going to leave without saying anything, so I went back to the pickup and I asked him, "Out there, do you have any advice for me?" And he was quiet for a long time. He didn't look at me, but I could see those tears in his eyes. And he said, "Keep your mouth shut and don't volunteer for nothing." So maybe I still live like that. Still follow my dad's advice. But I wanted to share that story with you because that's why I'm so thankful and proud of you. I want to say Wopala for your service. Thank you for your service. Because we all took that same oath to defend the United States Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And under the supremacy clause of that United States Constitution, it states that the treaties are the supreme law of the land.
Yes, they are.
So I just wanted to share that with all of you. And thank you for coming in this month. Because like we say, we see those commercials about the holidays and all those happy images, and it's just not that way for us. It's a difficult time of year for our people. So to have you come this far and to sacrifice again for the people, but not just the people, the First Nations of this country. Because this language that my relatives are speaking to you is the first language that was spoken on this land. And we have that ability to not only identify, but evaluate the sacredness that's out there. So when they came to our shores and said that this was a done deal, they gave us no choice but to resist. So, as a fellow veteran, I want to tell my brothers and sisters here, I'm not an emotional man, but I have a hard time at times like this when you come. Because you put courage in my heart. And we know, courage isn't the absence of fear. Courage is the ability to overcome that emotion. And because you're all here with us, I know that we're going to succeed. I know that we're going to defeat this.
And we'll be back.
Yeah.
Anytime that you need us.
That's in your language, because we don't have this word in our language. I'm going to tell you that I love you for coming here and standing with Standing Rock.
So we have a presentation.
Yesterday, I was given this chanupa. This was used in a healing ritual. I spent over 24 hours trying to find Chairman Fraser of the Cheyenne River Sioux. I've been extremely humbled and honored to have carried this. I would like to find the chairman and lay down my burden, because completion of healing is very important. I will be up here ready to pass this on. Thank you.
Thank you. I just want to make a couple of announcements. On December 15th, we're having a children's festival to commemorate our great chief, Papa Sinigo. He had a quote that he traveled all over the world. And one of the things that he said was, let us put our minds together and see what life we can make for our children. And that's what we're doing here today. And that's what we will continue to do every day. So on the 15th, we're celebrating the children in his memory. So we're going to coordinate an International Children's Festival here. There are people from all over the world who want to bring things for the children on Standing Rock. So we are going to be having it right here in this pavilion on December 15th. And we're asking dancers of all nationalities to come and dance with our children. So the other thing is that I want to acknowledge Russell Means. He was my brother. He was a patriot to our nation, to our people. And I wanted my sister-in-law to be here today. But she lost her brother. He went to the spirit world yesterday. She called and she could not be here. But it is his connections and his friend, James Martinez. Come here, James. This is Russell Means' adopted brother, his confidant, someone that shared his home, shared his life with him. And he is the one that connected with Wes. And Wes coordinated all of this. So I want to remember my brother, Russell Means, and all he stood for. And everything that we've done here, the strength that we have, he loved our nation. And he made us who we are today. And Leonard Crow Dog is also his brother. So we are a family. But I never want to forget my brother and his family today that could not be here. His mother, his mother, that was my mother. Her name was Theodora Feather. And we must never forget the matriarchs that have brought us and made us who we are. So pray with us as we commemorate the deaths of our great leaders and our people, the 38 who were hanged by executive order. Those assassinations of Crazy Book and City Book were the greatest men in the world. So hopefully we heal today with this ceremony. That's symbolic, but we will have a white horse ceremony when the weather permits. And Wes has committed to presenting Bucheti Shakoi on behalf of the military, a white horse. We are the White Horse Society. We are the ones who tethered the white horse to the land, and our warriors fought to the death. Men have a different perspective than the female. But we need to let that go. The linear age of man is over. And it's incumbent upon the women and the grandmothers to help to balance Mother Earth. I say this over and I will never stop. She's tilted. And we can never put her back. We don't know what our time factor in this world is. 20 years, 35 years, maybe another millennium if we are blessed. But we have an obligation to our children and our grandchildren and the survival of humanity.